Good morning, my friends, whoever you are. You know who you are, well, I hope you do. Anyway, I thought to do a series of talks every day. A Thought for the Day by Peter. Saint Peter, of course, to those who know me well. Anyway, so I mustn't keep saying anyway. Look, yes, thought for today is going to be a verse from the Bible. And the verse I thought today was, love thy neighbour as thyself. Now, when you think of it, that's amazing. Those verses, that verse, has meant such a lot to me. Now, I can make a joke of it. I know some people are going to say this. But to love thy neighbour as thyself means, of course, you've got to have love in the first place for yourself. You are absolutely useless or of no validity unless you love yourself. In the first place, love. You cannot give love. You can't love thy neighbour. Where does love come from? It comes from within, doesn't it? Love thy neighbour as thyself. Of course, you've got to have love in the first place. Where does that love? For me, that love comes from the love of Christ, but also a natural love. I think there's two loves, or maybe I think there's three loves in philosophy, isn't there? There's the agape love, and the eros, no, that's eros, isn't it? And there's the other love, and the selfish love. Now, selfish love is obviously the love that you know you're going to get something in return, or you wouldn't, or there's something needy about it. But the love that Christ is talking about is the giving love, the love that he himself gave to others. And you've got to love yourself, to love others. What does that mean? There's some people I know who do not love themselves because of something inside them. They don't understand. They cannot accept themselves. Now, one thing I've learned, I've been, as a Christian, I've had two things in my life. The life-changing experience of conversion when I was a young man, and also in counselling. I've had a lot of counselling in my life. A lot of Christians think, ain't Jesus enough for you? You don't need counselling, just pray to Jesus. Well, to be honest, I knew, because of things that had happened to me in my early life and so on, I didn't have a good parental family upbringing like a lot of people have. But anyway, I don't want to go into that. I knew there was something I needed to sort out psychologically in my brain and myself. I knew I wasn't things weren't right. Even as a Christian, I knew I had deep psychological needs. I think everybody will know that if they do me. But anyway, I had counselling for many years, several years, one-to-one counselling, and that helped me. Some people, like my twin brother, he says it was a waste of time. But that's, sometimes if you open a can of worms, that's what you get. For me, it helped me in emptying the can of worms. For some people, it seems to make things worse. I don't know, but let's get back to the subject. Anyway, I found counselling tremendously helpful for me to deal with my psychological issues, and then I went into counselling and that was I found a kind of catharsis by helping others, by learning something, and I think that's part of loving thyself. By learning about yourself, by getting into your inner thoughts, your inner feelings, your inner self, then you can get to know yourself. And I do think loving yourself is partly knowing yourself. How can you love someone if you don't know yourself? And I do believe to love thy neighbour as thyself is a tremendous verse. I wonder if anybody said that before Christ. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Because I think it's tremendous when you think about it, especially during this time of the epidemic, the virus. How do we love our neighbour as ourselves when we can't even see them? We can't even speak to them. But we can think of them and talk to them over the fence at a distance and know that we're caring. And I hope after this epidemic, all of us will think about our neighbours. That's our friends, our relatives, those we don't even know well. That we'll love them because we love ourselves, and that is because of what's been given to us. For me personally, that was, of course, Christ in my life has made the difference. But that doesn't mean we talk blab about Jesus all the time. It means being practical and getting to know people for who they are, not what we want to do with them or say to them, give them. You know, I'm going to love you if I just talk about Jesus. No, you love them for who they really are, and then they'll respect you for who you are, not what you're trying to give them or change them into. Love thy neighbour as thyself.